Okay, so I'm back with another tutorial. I know it's been a while since I made one of these, but someone asked me about this section today, and I thought it might be a good section to make a tutorial on. This is Crisis Riff from Crisis City. Yeah, so it looks something like that. It's not that hard of a section to get consistent at once you know the method, but it's kind of hard to start out. So it's a pretty short section. You just have the strumming at the beginning, which you can either standard strum or rake. I personally prefer to rake it because it makes it easier to transition into the trills later, but you can really do whatever you want. It's not, you can get this. And then this is the first really hard part of this section, is this transition into the trills, as I started a little further back. So you basically have these two orange notes, which transition into blue-red trills, two blue-red trills, which you want to double one hand, then orange-yellow trills, blue-red, and finally yellow-green. So the way I do this, I'm raking the notes to make the transition easier, and then double one hand blue, I'm probably just start here. You want to double one hand blue. Once it gets here. Tap orange, slide down, and then slide. You're anchor switching for each individual trick. Or, if you really want to, you can spam this something, which is what I used to do. But I prefer, and you always want to tap before you slide, so that you make sure you hit that anchor note. So, tap, slide, fret orange, tap blue, slide, fret blue, fret yellow. And then for this transition out of it, you're going to want to kind of double fret yellow. You've got this, you're tapping that note, and then let off to hit the green, and then tap this other yellow. And then you're going to want to transition. There's two ways you can do this. You can either transition on an up strum, because you absolutely want to start each double cycle on a down strum to hit the raking later. You want to do like green, green, yellow, yellow, orange, orange. You're not going to want to start each cycle on an up strum. So you can either transition on an up strum, and that'll prepare you for down strumming this part, or you can double down strum, which looks something like this. You just down strum the yellow, and then immediately after down strum the green without any up strum in between. So now is the hardest part of the section, and the part that, the reason this is so hard is because you have an odd number of strums here. You have a cycle of 4, cycle of 4, cycle of 4, cycle of 4, all these cycles of 4. And then this last one actually has, I believe, 9 notes instead of 8. Or some even number, which makes it a lot more difficult, because you could kind of like strum and then hit the strum bar with a down strum, but you're really likely to overstrum if you do that in the transition. So the way that most people, including me, hit this is by starting this on a down strum. Down strum this first yellow note and transition into an up rake. and you're kind of going to be breaking off beat for the entire thing. Like, you see, I'm breaking those two middle notes, breaking orange-yellow here. And that's why this is so hard, because the fretting for this is really precise. But, once you get it down, so, if I... And you are starting with an up rake, so you're starting on an up here, because you go down strum and then transition into an up rake. And I gotta speed this up to full speed, because the fretting doesn't really work on slower speeds. And you're gonna end up ending on a down rake. And then you transition into these trips. So, something like that. So you want to start on a down strum, transition into up raking, and then end on a down rake and transition into the trips, which you can either double one hand or elbow strum. I prefer elbow strumming, but so let me just... And then you're going to end up transitioning, just elbow strumming that, and anchor switching to hit the trips. Elbow strum. It's very similar to the fretting for the trips, for the trills, except you're doing trips instead of trills. So, yeah, that's Crisis Riff in a nutshell. I can do another full run just to show. So, break the beginning to make transition easier. And then start on a down strum and transition into raking from there, end on a down rake, elbow strum into that. So I hope this helps.